mist rolls gently over the dark and silent surface of the Amazon Blackwater River. A massive 5-meter crocodile floats completely still, waiting patiently in the dark water. A giant green anaconda slides heavily down the muddy riverbank toward the water's edge. Resting in the shallows, the large snake flicks her dark tongue to taste the humid air. Both apex predators wait motionless on opposite sides of a thick barrier of submerged roots. The heavy crocodile slowly hauls his massive, muscular body entirely onto the sunlit mud. Bright morning sunlight heavily bakes the resting crocodile's deeply armored and textured back. The green anaconda swims gracefully through a dense underwater maze of submerged tree roots. She rests her dark head silently on a half-submerged log, blending into the shadows. Frantic scarlet macaws suddenly burst from the high jungle canopy, sending green leaves falling downward. The crocodile opens his powerful jaws slightly and looks sharply upward toward the noisy canopy. He quickly slides backward off the bank, disappearing silently beneath the dark river water. The hidden anaconda raises her head, watching gentle ripples approach across the water's surface. Propelled by his massive tail, the heavy crocodile swims smoothly upriver just below the surface. A massive fallen kapok tree completely blocks the dark river's path with tangled branches. He carefully weaves his heavy armored body through the tangled underwater branches and deep shadows. The anaconda lies perfectly still on the dry, weathered log directly below the flowing river. She peers downward over the rough bark, watching the crocodile's shadow pass directly below. The crocodile surfaces gently on the other side of the wooden obstacle, scanning the bank. A large capybara steps cautiously out of the green ferns onto the mud to drink. The anaconda slowly slides off the dry log and enters the dark water with stealth. The crocodile quietly submerges near the bank, leaving only his eyes visible above the surface. The crocodile's bright, unblinking yellow-green eye remains locked entirely on the drinking prey. The snake glides silently through a thick, vibrant blanket of bright green duckweed. Both aquatic predators slowly close in on the oblivious capybara from opposite sides of the bank. The capybara suddenly stops drinking, its ears twitching rapidly in a subtle movement in the water. The panicked mammal spins around quickly, kicking up wet mud as it sprints into the ferns. The crocodile lunges explosively from the shallows, his massive jaws snapping violently on empty air. The anaconda emerges from the duckweed just as the heavy crocodile hits the muddy bank. The giant snake instantly lifts the front of her heavy body into a tense defensive coil. The crocodile turns his broad snout and stares directly at the raised serpent. He opens his massive jaws incredibly wide, exposing his pale throat in a territorial warning. The anaconda glides backward smoothly, retreating silently into the safety of the green duckweed. The crocodile aggressively pushes forward into the water, following right behind the retreating snake. The snake dives deep into the murky underwater depths to evade the advancing armored predator. Propelled by his massive tail, the heavy crocodile swims downward in relentless pursuit. The anaconda weaves effortlessly through a tight, chaotic tangle of massive submerged tree roots. Wedged tightly between wooden pillars, the crocodile thrashes his heavy tail in the clouded water. The snake glides silently through the water directly above the struggling crocodile. The crocodile looks sharply upward at the massive dark shadow blocking the sunlight above. The anaconda lunges downward rapidly, executing a lightning-fast bluff strike with her mouth closed.
The crocodile snaps his jaws upward amid a chaotic, blinding cloud of underwater bubbles. The snake breaks the surface quickly, climbing her heavy body onto a floating palm log. The crocodile's armored back emerges ominously beside the wet wood where the snake rests. The anaconda coils tightly on the rough bark, pointing her elevated head straight at the crocodile. The crocodile lunges vertically out of the water, snapping his jaws toward the resting snake. The snake rapidly uncoils and drops back into the shallow, muddy water to escape. The crocodile clumsily hauls his massive frame over the sinking log, crashing into the shallows. The anaconda, crackling, quickly glides through ankle-deep water and dead leaves toward the jungle edge. The crocodile runs aggressively behind her on his short legs, picking up clumps of mud. The anaconda urgently slithers up a thick, low-hanging root of a giant kapok tree. The crocodile skids to an abrupt halt as muddy water swirls around his heavy feet. He tilts his heavy head, glaring intently upward at the resting serpent in the branches. From her high branch, the snake looks directly down at the crocodile in the mud below. Both apex predators remain completely motionless in a tense, silent standoff at the jungle edge. The crocodile slowly turns his broad, armored back and walks steadily away from the tree. The coiled anaconda watches his slow retreat carefully from her secure spot on the high root. The crocodile slides seamlessly back beneath the dark, glassy Blackwater River without making a single splash. The exhausted snake rests her heavy head gently on her dark green muscular coils. The crocodile swims slowly and effortlessly down the open Blackwater River, leaving a gentle wake. Two vibrant scarlet macaws land gracefully on a high, sunlit branch in the green canopy. The crocodile walks slowly out of the water onto a secluded, undisturbed, muddy riverbank. He lies perfectly flat in the mud, basking peacefully in the bright morning sunlight. The anaconda slithers slowly into a deep, shadowy crevice between massive wooden tree roots. Beautiful golden shafts of sunlight pierce warmly through the lingering white tropical mist. The large capybara steps confidently back into the calm, shallow, muddy water of the river. It lowers its head, quietly nibbling on a patch of bright green aquatic grass. The perfectly calm river flawlessly reflects the towering green kapok trees standing on the banks. The sleeping crocodile's heavy, textured eyelid slowly closes under the warmth of the bright sun. The anaconda rests completely motionless within the dark, protective shadows of the wooden tree roots. A single yellow leaf falls gently, landing silently on the still, mirror-like water surface. A blue butterfly lands perfectly still on the sleeping crocodile's deeply textured, rough snout. The camera slowly pulls back, revealing the vast, towering height of the lush jungle canopy. The dark river winds endlessly through the incredibly vast, green expanse of the Amazon rainforest. Warm, amber sunlight bathes the endless jungle canopy as the misty sunset finally approaches.